What is going on? I'm Zedmod. You know the drill. Code Zedmod in that creator boost. There's still time. Do check the cards. Some of you have said cards have not been showing up for you. They should be up there. If you're watching in YouTube on your computer or the YouTube app or YouTube gaming, they're up there. Do go enter. Giving away that Dr. T figurine. But we're going to jump in right about now and get ourselves some Warships action. This video coming to you later than normal simply because of some technical difficulties. Don't worry, I did wait for you though. We are going to do a tech guide, not one of those other tech guides that just gloss over details and don't cover the goodness. We are going to do the full in-depth deep dive tech guide that will get you deep into this season. We're going to go right here. We're going to claim all of these chests. You guys know the drill. You can claim 2 chests at once. Multi-touch, not working the way it was way back in Boom Beach, but throw one finger down, throw the second finger on, and you are good to go. Anyways, we are going to jump on in. First and foremost, we're going to get those clone rifles rocking and rolling. Those are going to be our primary troop. They will live a long time. We are not going to get Grens. We aren't going to be touching those at the moment. We will be getting these mines upgraded. We are going to go off path. There's your first spoiler. Obviously, flamethrowers are off the path. This is going to be a fairly defensive season. Now, you'll also note we're not going to be upgrading those explosive drones. Save your tokens. Can always go back for those later, but for the moment, we don't care. Now, offense, yes, of course, we want to get ourselves some offense while we're there. We're also going to go off path and get mortars. This is way more off path than I typically go, I know, but we are going to get on going. That is as far as we can go as far as tokens go. I know that is crazy. I have spent a lot in those first bits. We are going to get some more. Don't you worry about that. We can get as far as this. Now, here's your next surprise. Going and getting those crystal critters, whatever the heck they're called. Don't need to upgrade those either. That's as far as we're going for the moment. I am not going to put, you know what? I am going to put these snipers out. We are going to work on getting those snipers upgraded. That is what you need right there. That will get you into rank 15. Obviously, we're going to get, what is that, 5 rank chests, which is going to help us a little bit along the way. Typically, I would not have spent nearly that much. Wouldn't have got my machine guns to tick 5. Wouldn't have got my flamethrowers to tick 5. If you're low on tokens, tick 4 for machine guns, for flamethrowers, and for mortars. But make darned sure you get those clone rifles to max. And you get those landing crafts to max as well. Very important. Gunboat doesn't matter yet. Flares, I would have liked to get them up to tick 2 or 3, but nonetheless, that should be enough to get us rocking and rolling. We are going to pick up all of our stuff. We're going to throw an engine room about here, an engine room about there. Don't copy this base. Typically, in my videos, what I will do is I will pause and then come back with a base. We are not doing that today. I am just chucking all of this stuff down. We want to force people to go right. I'll show you how to deal with that in a second. Just getting a base built. Like I said, right about now, everyone that I face is going to have more tech than me. They're going to have more attacks than me. So right about now, I am basically resigning myself to losses. Just taking the L on the majority of these attacks. If you don't understand that, it's because everyone I'm facing has likely gotten 5 more chests than me. So they're going to be tough to beat. Really not that big of a deal, but we definitely are going to lose. So don't go watching what's about to come and say, well, Zedmod doesn't know what he's talking about. His tech tree obviously sucks. I promise it'll work out. We just got to do a little bit. Also, this base is going to be, frankly, terrible, so don't copy this base. That is another reason why we're going to lose, as I am just throwing mines out willy-nilly. mine placement against clone riflemen is important, but it's not all that critical. So I am just going to get this base built. We are going to get all sorts of this mixed in. There are a number of competing bases out there right now, and a bunch of them have like nice straight lines. The moral of the bases, or the general theme of bases at the moment, is making people go to the right, and we are going to try our best not to do that. I am going to draw you a line here in a second. You see that? So what we're going to do is I am going to send some troops here, and my clones are going to go this way. And then we're going to switch over onto red, and we're going to keep flaring this way. So we're going to have our original troops going left and our clones going right. And our troops will wrap there, and they'll meet in the middle, and it will be amazingly gorgeously pretty, and at the same time also terrible. So we're gonna drop these guys about there. They're gonna make the run back to our troops, clearing many mines, and just dropping them and letting them run free. And now we're going to start flaring off to this left-hand side. Now that we've got some of those second generation clones going towards that right-hand side, also realizing that we have got super duper low level flares. So now that we've got some troops split, we can drop one of these things, just trying to get a little bit of oomph towards that right hand side. I told you we were going to be slow. That should not be a giant surprise to us. As our troops split and get all of the things, now we can get that final flare onto that engine room, throwing out those final explosive drones. 3 minutes 9 seconds. Decently fast, but probably not fast enough to get the win. Let's have a look. Hey, look at that. I built up the fact we were going to lose, and then we didn't lose. Huzzah, getting that next rank chest, which is going to drastically help us, because now we can get our flares. Where the heck are our flares? Flares up a couple notches, sniper towers up a couple notches. Just a note that sniper towers are going to be crushing clone rifles. They shoot quick. They are more beneficial than cannons, but both are going to be great. Also note that people are heavy rushing. I am going to be skipping that. If you don't have instant training, you probably want to go get grenadiers, but you don't need grenadiers. You might need them for the troops, but you don't need them to progress at this point in the season. Also don't need gunboat energy. You'll notice people are going and getting that building health and that troop health. I am getting neither of those at the moment. Might go get building damage, but getting into 4 engine rooms. There's some good stuff at the 4 engine room level, so do make sure you drastically check your spending before you go and do it. So there is attack number 1, and you saw how quick that was. Just keep those flares going left. You're going to get enough troops going right simply because of the fact that they keep on dying. 1, 2, 3, and again, just a matter of dropping those things, getting them to clear some mines for you, and then as we get a bunch of these guys going, we are going to keep on dropping on this left-hand side. Explosive drones, even just to get that flamethrower to turn away for a second, they are not high level, so can't get much value out of them, but can get some value, and that's all we really care about, is getting some value. And as you can see, those clones not following flares give us all sorts of benefits. So we've got troops going left, we've got troops going right, maybe a little bit too far going left, but as you can see, they're gonna hook back anyways. Not a big concern there, as our troops do all sorts of goodness for us here. Also note that those crystal critters, as I make a very big effort to make sure I'm saying the R instead of the L, what they don't do is heal those pink zombie rifles. So you want to make sure that you drop them. If yes, they're going to do a little bit of healing. That is not their primary purpose, though. Their purpose right here is just to clear as many stinking mines as they possibly can. A 243. That is slow. Slow. Let's see what Alfie's got for us, though. Hey, I said we were going to... Hey, there's your grenadiers. I told you. Clone rifles crushing grenadiers. And Grenadiers never have a place later in the season, so if you can avoid Grens at all, consider doing it. Alfie giving us all, that was well-timed, Alfie. I wish I could have planned that, to be completely honest. So again, same deal. Getting these guys out about here, trying to get them to clear all of these mines for us. Again, with the explosive drones, trying to get that flamethrower to turn away from our troops, and then finally just getting all of our troops in the next couple seconds. We're going to get them going towards this back left. Flares are a premium this season. The fact that I can't keep my troops moving as fast as I would like to, a big deal. But look at this, we've got a decent split here. Those troops are going to work their way to the right. These troops are going to work their way to the left. And in theory, we should meet somewhere in the middle. Where that middle is going to be, I couldn't tell you, but we're going to drop a couple more boats of those things. I keep calling them boats, but those are not boats. Those are the explosive drones. I mean, healing drones, crystal critters, whatever the heck you want to call them. Nonetheless, 3 wins in a row after I gave that big, overly complex disclaimer saying how we were going to lose. So this person looks like they're trying to use explosive drones to kill that headquarters. That is not going to happen. We've got it protected by a flamethrower and a machine gun. This person also made the mistake of putting a bunch of their tokens into those explosive drones. So our opponents have walked perfectly into a segue for this, letting you know that number 1, don't waste your tokens there. Number 2, also number 1A, don't waste your tokens on Grenadiers. Unless you don't have instant training, of course, then you have to make different decisions, and those decisions are going to slow you down getting to good stuff. But if they speed you up because you can actually get some engine rooms, then all the power to you. So make whatever decisions you need, obviously, but just know that they're gonna slow you down in the long term. Let's get one more sniper tower, and that's where, when I talk about getting these buildings back here to tick 4, the reason for that is because you get the maximum build count. It isn't so much about that extra health or the extra damage. We have maximum number of snipers. We have maximum number of cannons. Boom cannons, for example. You just want to get them to tick 3. Next up, on that choice node, we are 100% going for mortars. That should be an easy one. I assume everyone here realized that, but figured I would touch on that briefly and quickly. Let's keep going. Well, forgot to get those extra snipers and cannons placed. That is where trying to do a stream, not necessarily the best idea. We're going to drop here and here. That is going to get those mortars, hopefully, to shoot backwards just at least once or twice. I talked about those bases that are common. This is the most common base. This is the base I have seen the most of in a big way. This base is, I think 90% of people are using some variant of this base, so maybe you want to copy that base, but we are going to try our best to beat that base. Yes, our troops are staying right, many of them, but as long as we can get a couple back in here, that is all that really matters. As those crystals are helping keep those troops alive, you do see though that they have a limited lifespan. And now it's just trying to keep these dudes alive. As soon as they hit those mines, we're gonna have a big problem here, as I believe Eminem once said. We should be good though, because we can get one more of these guys out there. They should help clear those final mines. And then we've got enough troops down there. Don't really need to rush onto that top engine room, because that bottom engine room is going to be our choke point anyways, or our slow point, or our bottleneck. Bottleneck is probably the best term for that. Getting onto that final engine room, picking up that first loss of the video. Can't really go out on a loss, but my goodness, I can't even believe the fact that I forgot to put those extra snipers and cannons down. I'm sure you guys have all made that mistake in the past yourselves. But trying to record a video, trying to get all of the tech notes that I've gotten written down across, not a great combo, I gotta say. So thank you for your patience. I know that sometimes I say one thing and do another. Just know that my brain is trying to keep up, and it's Monday morning, and coffee is not always enough. What did Gussie did? They were slow. So bases, people have been slow against this base. They would have been even slower, of course, if we had some extra defenses out there. Just a complete and utter dum-dum. Saddest of the trombones. Now we can start moving a couple flamethrowers forward to protect those mortars a bit more. Getting a couple extra cannons in here, slowing down the progress of those gosh darned clones. And there we go. I am going to recycle my, what is that called? Thumbnail, because the Attack of the Clones thumbnail I put way too many hours in. So if you recognize this thumbnail, I had to use it again. It was just too good not to. We will keep going. We're going to do one more hit, hoping to win our last battle. Now, this one looks like we don't even need to split our troops. They should split fairly well on their own. We are going to drop a couple here. We're going to hold back a couple boats and drop a couple extra on that right-hand side. These crystal critters are going to run through the majority of those mines. You see how far they can make it. It is crazy just how far they can go. Their health is very, very high. If you remember when they were first released, they were supposed to be indestructible, which didn't happen, of course. They do have a limited amount of health, but that health is fairly gosh darned high. Now we just need these explosive drones to start exploding. That's going to get them onto that final, what is that called? They're going to, actually, it's going to get them to do some mine clearing. So explosive drones can clear mines, but they are frozen for 2 seconds. I know it seems like they're frozen for days and days and days, but it takes 2 seconds before they unfreeze. Botic coming in with that heavy rush. So we've had grenadiers, we've had people using explosive drones, and finally heavy rush. So there are all sorts of metas, and we crushed them all with clone rifles. Now, there are going to be people who go up this path up in here. Come on, up in here, up in here. Y'all gonna make, nope, we're not losing our heads. People gonna be going up in there. That is gonna work out long term, but that troop damage and that next engine room is calling my name. We shall see though. I don't think people are gonna be fizzling. I've also seen people with troop health that have been just as slow as people with clone rifles without it, so you aren't gonna fizzle. You know what, let's call it a day. Oh, too late. You're not gonna fizzle with clone rifles yet. In coming days, maybe, but for right now, just get yourself some of these guys, get yourself some of these guys, and get your troops rocking and or rolling. We're gonna spread our troops out. Why we're spreading our troops out is simply because as they get towards that back, we don't need them to go in any direction or the other, and that is where I believe this base isn't as good as it should be. People with better bases are getting troops to split. They're making you use flares. They're making you use gunboat energy. And in my opinion, the bases that make you use flares, and many people are not using flares, let's be honest here, are gonna be better off. We're just walking back with this base. Maybe this base is designed to stop the heavy rush or something like that, but the fact is we can just drop these crystal clitters, get them walking through all of that stuff, and that is why they are the MVP of the season. They have never been the MVP of anything, so for the crystal critters to be the MVP of this season, I really, really do like it. Do go get those things. My other account went and got medics, and I really, really, really do regret it. So learn from my mistakes, do as I say, not as I do, or something. This person trying, look at that, trying to get all of their GBE to run on in, and yay, you blew up a machine gun. So explosive drones, not good, not useful. Just popping all of these explosive, so many terms, crystal critters, explosive drones, clone riflemen. All of these things are a mouthful. Don't need grenadiers, don't need heavies. Obviously, both of those things are viable options. And look at this, just not getting any value out of those. Maybe they popped one mine. This is gonna be, I just told you that people aren't fizzling with clone riflemen, and Asaka came in and proved me wrong. So don't do what Asaka did. Don't waste all your gunboat energy on those explosive drones. Use those flares, keep shifting your troops, get that spread going, and also retreat. Don't be like Asaka in so many ways. I'm gonna get on into that next set of mortars, which is gonna make it even more fierce. If you're nervous, sure, go get heavies, go get that troop health, but I don't think you're gonna need it for the next little bit anyways. I tend to go too far offensive, so maybe, just maybe, that building damage into that building health is the answer. Regardless, crystal critters are your go-to. I'm Zedmont. Hopefully this video helped you get on in. Don't forget to go watch my previous giveaway video. You want to get in on that. I'm Zedmont. Thank you for coming in, liking, sharing, subscribing, and everywhere in between. We now have extra mortars, can spread these puppies out even more. More danger at the shore is exactly what we want as we get that first mortar right about there. Boom, shakalaka, and then we're gonna get the next mortar back in about here, just trying to get extra oomph. Is this base the best base? Definitely not. Do go check out the leaderboards. There are many players with better bases, but many of them, look at that, look how dirty that is. People at the 4-engine room level, people at the 3-engine room level. As you can see there, this Alpha Shark went and skipped the troop health. That is similar to the route that I'll be doing, but there's lots of them out there. So thanks for coming in. I'm Zedmont. Peace!